there's so much happening too. And you're just trying to figure out where this is going, what alternate reality is, what's waiting next for you. And they do a great job of setting up new layers and new cliffhangers and things to, stack the deck really. And as he's also discovering things. What's up, everyone? Jim Alexander here with Real Talker, and today I'm going to be providing the review of Apple TV's new series, Dark Matter. Yeah, it's got an all-star cast, as you see behind me: Joel Edgerton, Jennifer Connelly, Alicia Braga. It's stacked, okay, when it comes to name talent, but does it live up to the hype? Does it live up to, the billing of all these star names being there? Is there substance to this show? And is there intrigue? And there's story and all that? Well, check out the trailer and then I will break it all down after.
Wait for this.
To my extraordinary wife, Daniela, I do not deserve you.
That's true.
A man of science. He is married to the woman of his dreams, and they have a good life.
Have a good day.
Coffee to go?
Oh my gosh, you're my hero.
Until one night, he doesn't make it home.
All right, Dark Matter, the new Apple TV series, twisted mind bender, if that's what you want to call it, because that's what it sort of is, in every way, starring Joel Edgerton, Jennifer Connelly. There's money involved in this if those actors are part of it. So that's big time cast right there for a TV series from creator Blake Crouch, who's also a novelist. And I had a ding there, but he's also wrote the book about the Dark Matter. So now it's a TV show, and he's running that too. So it comes from a source who's very familiar with what this story is here. So that's a good thing always when it comes from the same person who wrote sort of the novel is now putting together the show. So the source matter is going to be authentic to it too. So what is it about? What's Dark Matter about? So it's tough to describe movies like this because it's so complex and twisted. So it's about a guy here that Joel Edgerton's the main character here with Jennifer Connelly, and Jason Dessen is his name, Jason Dessen, and he's sort of abducted into this alternate reality and version of his own life. So bunch of mind-bending stuff, but it's basically a look at two different lives he could have lived. One with a wife and a son, so a family life, and then one if he sort of pursued his you know career aspirations, to the extreme level. So Jason Dessen is a scientist here, a well-known scientist from what we find out, but he could have been a Pulitzer Nobel Prize winning sort of if I think that's the word name. It might be a different name for a scientist, but yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Very high, highly respected and society helping and sort of scientists here. And we go through this journey of him navigating these alternate landscapes of life we've seen these sort of stories before, but the way they do it in this one, it's so much more scientific, and it really is sciency in a lot of ways, but not in a sort of like I'm completely lost confusing, but it's a smart sort of alternate reality movie in a lot of ways. Sometimes we see these concepts where two different versions of a life and what could have been what is, it's sometime time portal. This is more so a scientific way, which kind of flows into this character who is a sciencey guy, and a lot of science sort of people that we meet in this. So that works in that aspect of it. But yeah, so it's basically this navigation of different realities, and he's trying to get back to the one reality that he cares more about, which is the family life, right? That's the one he truly seems to want. But he's sort of his own enemy here, and like he's facing himself in so many aspects of this, which makes it sort of interesting that he's kind of going against himself in these different universes. He's facing himself literally. So really interesting stuff you need to follow here, because you could get lost, and it's, it's complex enough, but it's not complex to the point where you check out and just don't care. It's complex to the point where you're intrigued and want to stay with it. So that's where we're sort of at. So I mentioned the actors here. Alicia Braga plays Amanda Lucas, this sort of woman from the version of his life that he became super famous and didn't pursue a family, and the version that he's sort of trying to escape from. So she's sort of the main woman in that life. And potential romantic interest, what we get to sort of know early on, and but also someone who's kind of and oddly a colleague. It's sort of an interesting relationship they have. Amanda Lucas here and Jason Dessen. Jennifer Connelly plays Daniela Vargas Dessen, his wife in that reality he wants to be part of. She's a artist, and we sort of learn about how they met together and their bond and journey, and how they're both sort of these career-minded, very talented, but on different spectrums sort of individuals. Oaks Fagley plays Charlie Dessen, their son. He's like a teenager in the universe where they have a son and a kid. And yeah, you also see a recurring sort of characters in Deo Okoyeni. I hope I said it right. Who plays Leighton Vance, and Jimmy Simpson, who plays Ryan Holder, sort of the buddy of Jason and also Daniela, like another science guy, one of probably Jason's best friends. And there's different also aspects of their relationship in these two realities, where in one, Ryan sort of becomes famous because Jason doesn't pursue something, this finding, basically scientific finding. So Ryan kind of does that. But in the other universe, Jason makes it, and Ryan's the one that doesn't sort of make it to that point, and he's the one that gets left behind. So in these two universes, they're two different levels. One you see where Ryan is sort of takes the lead and finds these discoveries and these scientific things, and other one where you see Jason. So um only sort of spoiler I will give, if you're wondering what the hell is going on, how is he transporting his time, it seems sort of like a dream, but it's really not. We discover in a second episode, that's as far as I'm going to go in terms of spoilers here. There's a cube that Jason Dessen's been working on that allows him sort of to do this transportation. That's this big scientific discovery that he kind of flips these alternate realities with through this intriguing cube. So that's all I'll say. But there's so many twists and turns along the way here that really it's hard to really spoil things when they're coming at you constantly. The visuals are really good cinematography here. It looks very high end. It looks like a movie. I mean, Apple usually does a great job when it comes to sort of putting in resources into their shows that look on point. They look like movies. Just the production quality, the money probably spent on this was significant. So it looks great, and it feels sort of like a movie. And the cool personal thing is the story takes place in Logan Square, which is a real place in Chicago. It's a real neighborhood in Chicago. So I'm familiar with that. So it's a real place, by the way. Those of you who watch it, like, is Logan Square some made up place in Chicago? No, it's real. Definitely, it's got a lot of Chicago elements to it. So you see Chicago a lot in the foreground and background, and in the actual Logan Square too. So that's pretty cool for the Chicagoans who will get to see the show. And I did speak with Blake, the creator, Blake Crouch, and he he based this on Logan Square because this is where he sort of came up with the idea and concept of the book, so it holds a special place to him. So it's cool to when you see a director sort of revisit the real inspiration and the place where this idea came to him. So that's what we see here in the story taking place in Chicago here, but a Chicago world that looks familiar on the streets, but man, the behind the scenes sort of stuff that happens here with Jason, pretty wild in that aspect. So yeah, show looks like $1 million. Probably a lot more millions. We're going by numbers, but looks great is what I'm saying. The acting's really good here. I mean, you have top level actors. The chemistry between Jennifer Connelly and Joel Edgerton's really, really good. You believe them as a couple, and then in the alternate sort of reality, you sort of see their relationship, and she does sort of, you know, you don't know if this guy's crazy or not, right? So when he's into this alternate reality and trying to tell her about the life they had and they're married, they have a kid, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" You know, they're sort of just like really good friends and sort of past relationship lovers that broken up. But you can tell there's still that love between them that holds things down. That she still kind of believes him that he's not that crazy or out of this world when he tells her these crazy things, right? Uh, Ryan, on the other hand, does not believe him. Okay, rightfully so. Thinks he's out of his mind. But yeah, the acting is really good. I mean, you have top level, you know, A-list talent here, and just big time movie stars in these in these main roles here. So acting's really good. The chemistry is really good between Jennifer Connelly, Joel Edgerton. Alicia Braga always brings it. She always has an interesting sort of character, kind of like always the mysterious one. Like, you don't know if she's a good person or not, or someone you root for or be skeptical of. She kind of does that again in this role, and she's great at that. So yeah, it's interesting because some of these actors played in some mind benders. Jennifer Connelly, been obviously Requiem for a Dream, a Dark City, and this one might be the most kind of complex and twisted of them all. You know, if you look at that, it's really a show that keeps you on edge, but it's interesting, and you just, this is a binger in the sense where you just don't want to wait till the next episode. Luckily, I think that Apple TV is releasing them separately. The first two episodes drop March, not March, we're in May, way behind there. May 8th, the first two episodes, and then they're gonna do an episode each week all the way through late June. So that's the plan. I believe there's gonna be 9 episodes, yeah, in the series. Um, at least that I know of and have been privy to. There might be a 10th one, but 9 for sure is what you're getting. And yeah, so it's going to be going for a while, all summer basically. It's sort of a summer show here, and it's a good one. So yeah, the first episode does drop Wednesday, May 8th, and then every following Wednesday you will get a new episode, all the way what it seems the 9th episode. Maybe there's a 10th, but definitely 9, which will run through end of June, which is June 26th. So there it is. It's something to look forward to every Wednesday. But like I said, it's a really intriguing show. It's one of those bingers that I'm glad they're making you wait week to week to sort of digest it and process it. Because if you're moving too along, you know, I saw a few episodes in a row, and I'm just like, oh, I need to slow down here and kind of fester it in and take it in and see what's going on here to appreciate it more. But it's super intriguing. and it's one of those cliffhangers every episode, which is great. It's just well done all around. Like I said, it's based on a novel, and this is a really good interpretation. I haven't read the novel, but it seems like it's a really good interpretation in this show of it. So really entertaining too. Definitely worth seeing. Just imaginative, creative. It's one of the better shows I've seen of 24 so far, and we're just 5 months into the year. But that's probably, with all the streaming platforms out there, this would be probably my top two show, if not the top one. And I'll be talking about another top two show in another review here that I enjoyed this year. But this is a really high end, quality, intriguing show. If you like sort of a sci-fi ish thriller, this is sort of it. That's the show here, and they deliver on that aspect of it. So, yeah, really, really good. Only complaints maybe I would say is that, even though the science is pretty understandable, it is sort of complex at times. Uh, when they do little sciency stuff, but there's not enough of that to sway you from this show. So really interesting characters. You're intriguing. Yeah, it could get confusing at times too. You sort of lose track, I guess. That one may be negative is if you're not paying close attention, you're gonna lose yourself in this. You're not gonna know what alternate reality, and they don't really distinguish on which reality he is, and it's probably in a good way that they do that. That they don't say like, "Ooh, make a sort of a title card or anything like that to give you a heads up that he's in a different reality." Sometimes you catch yourself watching, it jumps so much that you can get confused which reality is that he's in. So that's one thing to sort of look out for, that maybe they could have given a little bit more of a heads up, or just some sort of nod that, oh, he's in this reality, but it bounces so fast between realities, you get lost. And it's probably done on purpose to get the viewer confused and lost which reality he is, with eventual payoffs later on. So there's that. Okay, great. Let's give us some grades here for the show. Acting, like I said, really solid. You have top level actors here. 8 out of 10. I think that's a pretty high score, especially for television. Uh, you know, 8 out of 10 is what I'm giving them, and it's actually my lowest score, which is kind of wild because their acting is really good. Entertainment, it's highly entertaining. Like I said, it's one of those shows that you want to binge, and the cliffhangers have you at the edge of your seat, and you just can't look away from it. It's got your attention at all times because there's so much happening too. And you're just trying to figure out where this is going, what alternate reality is, what's waiting next for you. And they do a great job of setting up new layers and new cliffhangers, and things to stack the deck really, and as he's also discovering things. So too, but there's that relationship element too that's at the core of this show, which I really appreciated, because it's not just all twists and turns and all that, but there's that heart to it, that you care about these characters. You root for them to be together and get back to that family life that Jason wants so much. So I appreciated that aspect, and that kind of leads me into and that's a 9 for entertainment. We're giving it a 9 out of 10, and then that leads me into the story plot, which I'll kind of jump off on that. It's also that family sort of aspect, that relationship aspect, is what really makes it more than just a sort of a twisted mind bender, because there's humanity toward, and there's character development that you care enough about here, and that you can understand, and besides all that's the craziness that's going on. So I appreciated that. It was just, yeah, it's a well written show, and it's getting an 8.5 out of 10 for me on that. Now, creativity. I thought it was super creative. Like I said, to sort of, it's hard to do a show with alternate realities and also have a dramatic element that you care about. But putting it in a sort of a modern world, modern day, current time period. Seems like it's taking place in Chicago, in a normal city. It's not that some, dystopian world or anything like that. It's a real time. It's just happening to real people here. So I thought the creativity was just interesting to give this futuristic sort of sci-fi time alternate reality travel in this normal modern day world that's very normal to everyone outside of these characters. And they live in this modern world and they go to bars and all that stuff. So it's very normal. He just has abnormal things happening in his life that he's trying to explain. So I thought that was a great molding and together of reality with this alternate reality. And I thought that was really creative the way they did it all, and just jumping to timelines and the way it was set up and the reasoning for it. So 9 out of 10 on creativity. And then impression, the show, how it leaves you, leaves me with an intriguing impression, in the point where the show is interesting. The show is different from a concept that's been done before. So there is a layer here that is fresh in a lot of ways, at least done in a fresh, thought out way. I thought this was a very well thought out show. I'm intrigued to read the book, and see how it measures up to the show and lines up. But this feels like a movie in a lot of ways too, which is great. That's always a good high mark for a TV show when it feels like a movie, just kind of chopped up into episodes and pieces. So it left me a good impression because I was really excited to see each episode, and that's an 8.5 out of 10. So really good scores here. It's a really good show that I'd highly recommend. So the overall grade here is an 86%, 86 out of 100. Now it might seem that sounds like a B show. No, 86. I'm not doing letter grades here, so 86 is pretty high out of 100. It's not a perfect show because I don't know any that are, and it's tough to do this concept in sort of a perfect manner, right? Um, when it's meant to draw some sort of diversion and confusion when you're jumping alternate lives and realities. So, but that's part of the intrigue too. So really highly ranked show, and really good. Highly recommend it. Apple does really well with their shows actually. Probably one of the better streamers when it comes to sort of high quality shows in terms of production and star value. So they nail it right here with Dark Matter. So check it out. May 8th is the premiere of the first 2 episodes, and then every Wednesday after that. So make sure to check out Dark Matter. And in the meantime, make sure to subscribe. So please subscribe. Always much appreciated when you're sort of part of the family, and get these updates and more reviews that are coming on the way. So it's just a token of appreciation that you can show me for doing this. And if you also like this review, thumbs up. You can click that thumbs up button too. So the more the merrier. Clicks and comment if you're excited about the show, if you've seen it, if you read the book. Let me know in the comment section. Always curious to check that out, and interesting to hear others' takes on it. And also you can follow me on social media, at the Jim Alexander. That's on Instagram, TikTok, X. Still trying to say Twitter, but it's X. And also at the Real Talker on these same social media outlets. So until next time, check out Dark Matter. It's highly recommended, highly worthy of your time and investment. Each episode is about 50 minutes or so long. So you're almost getting an hour of a show here, at least 45 minutes plus on each episode. It kind of varies sometimes from episode to episode, but it's not like the quickest show. It's not like a 20-minute sitcom or anything like that. It's prepared to be watching around an hour for each episode. So I think that's better. You get like 8-9 hours of content here by the time it's done. So I'll see you when I see you next, and make sure you stay tuned to Real Talker. Enjoy Dark Matter.
And I can never